Welcome to the Unseen Hour, a channel dedicated to exploring the mysteries of the past and present. Today, we delve into the bizarre and fascinating phenomenon known as the dancing plague. The year was 1518 in Strasbourg, France, and a strange phenomenon was occurring. People were suddenly seized with a compulsion to dance, and it quickly spread throughout the town. Hundreds of people were dancing in the streets, some of them for days without rest. Doctors were called in, but they were unable to explain the strange behavior. Many theories have been put forth to explain the dancing plague. Some have suggested that it was caused by ergot poisoning, a fungus that can grow on rye and cause hallucinations and muscle spasms. Others have suggested that it was a mass hysteria, a psychological phenomenon where a group of people experience the same delusion. The dancing plague had a profound effect on Strasbourg and the surrounding areas. People were unable to work or care for their families, and many died from exhaustion or heart attacks. The plague also inspired artistic works such as paintings and plays. The dancing plague was not an isolated event. Throughout history, there have been many cases of mass hysteria where a group of people experience the same delusion. Examples include the Salem witch trials and the Tanganyika laughter epidemic. Today, the dancing plague is still a subject of fascination and speculation. Some have suggested that it was a form of protest against the oppressive social conditions of the time, while others see it as a symbol of the power of the human spirit to transcend limitations. The dancing plague remains a mystery, but it has left an indelible mark on history. Its impact on art, psychology, and society cannot be ignored, and it continues to inspire new interpretations and theories. As the dancing plague continued, it became clear that this was no ordinary phenomenon. In some cases, entire communities would be affected, with hundreds of people dancing in the streets. The dancers showed no signs of stopping, even when they collapsed from exhaustion or suffered from injuries. Some began to experience hallucinations and delirium, while others went into convulsions. Medical professionals of the time were at a loss as to what was causing the dancing plague. Some believed it was a form of demonic possession or divine punishment, while others thought it might be caused by a particular type of fungus that grew on rye bread, which was a staple food in the region. Despite the lack of understanding of what was happening, attempts were made to treat the afflicted. Some doctors prescribed opiates to calm the dancers, while others tried bleeding or other medical procedures. Some communities even brought in musicians to try and distract the dancers and stop the dancing. Despite these efforts, the dancing plague continued to spread and claim more victims. By the end of the summer of 1518, it is estimated that as many as 400 people had died from exhaustion, heart attacks, or other dancing-related causes. As the years passed, the dancing plague slowly faded from memory, but it remains a fascinating and perplexing mystery to this day. Researchers continue to study the events of that summer in 1518. Looking for clues that might shed light on what caused the dancing plague and why it was so widespread. Scientists still explore various plausible theories and explanations that have been put forth over the years to explain the dancing plague. Some of these might include mass hysteria, religious fervor. While the dancing plague is certainly one of the most famous examples of mass hysteria, it is not the only one. Similar events that have occurred throughout history, such as the Tanganyika laughter epidemic in 1962 and the Malaysian Hantu Tetek outbreak in 2006. Other outbreaks of strange and inexplicable behavior, such as the tarantella craze in Italy, the biting mania in Germany, and the laughter epidemic in Tanzania. The similarities might tell us about human behavior and social contagion. Although the dancing plague occurred hundreds of years ago, it continues to fascinate people to this day. It has been portrayed in books, films, and TV shows, as well as how it has influenced the work of artists and musicians. In addition to its impact on popular culture, the dancing plague has also inspired numerous reimaginings and reinterpretations, such as contemporary dance pieces or multimedia art installations offering new perspectives on the enduring mystery. Despite centuries of speculation and study, there are still many unanswered questions surrounding the dancing plague. These mysteries continue to baffle researchers and historians. Some of these questions might include why the dancing plague was so geographically limited, or why it only affected certain segments of the population. While the dancing plague may seem like a bizarre historical footnote, it offers valuable lessons for our modern world. Some of these lessons are the importance of community support and the danger of unchecked superstition. The dancing plague can teach us about the nature of history and human behavior. The dancing plague challenges our assumptions about what is possible and how we can learn from the past to inform our future. How wonderful and strange and fascinating world we live in. The Unseen Hour would love to hear from you. Do you have any questions or thoughts about this strange historical event? Perhaps you have your own theory about what caused the dancers to behave so bizarrely? Or maybe you have a personal connection to this story? We welcome all questions and comments, so please feel free to share them with us. Thank you for joining us on the Unseen Hour, where we continue to explore the mysteries that captivate and intrigue us.